Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the Zohar reading for world peace. My name is Albert. I'll be the reader for today's session. Before we begin, we just want to say hi to everyone who's joining us all over the world. Let's see who do we have with us today. I see Carl's writing greetings from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sean's writing love and peace from Melbourne. Victoria is writing shalom. Victoria from Seattle. Sylvia's writing greetings and shalom from the Netherlands. Then there's Perler. They're writing greetings from San Diego and greetings from Poland. And Andy Kurtz, shalom from North Carolina, and many more. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's reading. We have a very special section of the Zohar that we're going to be reading today. And to help us dive deeper into the Zohar, we're going to start with a few words from Rav Laitman about reading the Book of Zohar. Why do we read it? How do we extract the most out of it? Here we go.
28. We're reading the Zohar in order to invite, to draw the upper light that corrects us. Corrects meaning unites us to that collective common soul in which we all exist and where we are all connected. And now it only depends on us how we want to feel ourselves, either detached from the true state or to the extent that we want to be in it, to experience it, we will feel it. It depends on the mutual influence, each and everyone's influence over all the others. So especially as we read the Zohar, we must think about how to unite by the power of the Zohar. And within the unity, we will reveal everything.
So within the unity, we will reveal everything. So let's really focus on this connection that we're trying to build between us. How as we learn that we're all part of one singular soul, us and the entire world, and we want to feel through that unity, this reading, and for it to really be projected on the whole world. So 10 seconds, everyone will set their intentions, and we will begin. Rabbi Shimon's exit from the cave. 185. Rabbi Pinchas was regularly before Rabbi Rehumai by the shore of the Sea of Galilee. A great and elderly man was Rabbi Rehumai, and his eyes grew weak. He said to Rabbi Pinchas, "Indeed, I heard that Yochai, our friend, has a gem, a good stone, a son. I looked in the light of that gem, and it is as the illumination of the sun from its sheath, illuminating the entire world." Explanation. Malchut, in all her corrections, is called a good stone, and she is called a gem. He said, Yochai, our friend, has a gem, a good stone, a son, meaning he has already been rewarded with Malchut, with all her corrections and adornments, He looked in the spirit of holiness, in the light of the gem, that it was as illuminating as the light of the sun upon its exit from its sheath, which is the correction of Malchut's future. So the light of the moon will be as the light of the sun, that then she illuminates the entire world. And behold, after the light of Malchut became the light of the sun, and her peak rose to heaven, she illuminated from the heaven to the earth in another pillar of light to the entire world. He was illuminating and going until it was enough for Rabbi Shimon to properly correct the throne of Atik Yomin. The intimation is that he was already rewarded with the two revelations at the end of correction. These are 1, the 6 verses from the verse, the heavens tell, to the verse, the law of the Lord is whole, and 2, the 6 names that are written from the verse, and there is nothing hidden from its heat, through the end of the song. This is so because the light standing from the heaven to the earth and illuminating the entire world implies to the 6 verses. And until Atik Yomin comes and properly sits on the throne, it indicates those 6 names. 186. And that light stands from the heaven to the earth and illuminates the entire world until Atik Yomin, meaning Keter, arrives and properly sits on the throne, meaning until the end of correction. And that light is entirely included in your home, meaning in his daughter, since the daughter of Rabbi Pinchas was the wife of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and from the light that was included in your home, a small and thin light comes out, which is Rabbi Elazar, his daughter's son. He comes out and illuminates the entire world. Happy are you. Come out, my son, come out. Follow that gem that illuminates the world, for the time is ripe for you. Commentary. The daughter of Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair was Rabbi Shimon's wife. It follows that Rabbi Shimon is included in the house of Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. This refers to Rabbi Lazar, who came out of the light that was included in the house of Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. The light is Rabbi Shimon and his wife, and Rabbi Lazar came out and illuminated the entire world. 187. He went out from him and was about to go into the ship, and there were 2 men with him. He saw 2 birds coming and flying over the sea. He raised his voice and said, "Birds, birds, since you fly over the sea, have you seen the place where Yochai is?" He waited a little and said, "Birds, birds, go and tell me." They flew away into the sea and departed. Commentary. Rabbi Shimon fled from the kingship, which ordered that he should be killed. He and his son hid in a cave, and they did not know his whereabouts. This is why Rabbi Pinchas, son of Yair, went to look for him in the islands of the sea. 188. Before he went out to the ship, the birds came out, and one of them held a letter in her beak. It said, "Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai has come out of the cave with his son, Rabbi Elazar." Rabbi Pinchas went to him and found that he had changed. His body was filled with holes and sores from sitting in the cave. He wept over him and said, "Woe that I have seen you so." Rabbi Shimon told him, "Happy I am that you have seen me so, for had you not seen me so, I would not be so." Rabbi Shimon opened with the commandments of the Torah and said, all the commandments of the Torah that the Creator gave to Israel are written in the Torah in a general way. Commentary. For all the years that he had to dwell in the cave, he had to sit there inside the sand to cover his nakedness and engage in Torah, and his flesh was punctured and with sores because of it. Rabbi Pinchas wept over him and said, woe unto me that I've seen you so. Rabbi Shimon replied to him, happy I am that you have seen me so, for had you not seen me so, I would not be so. Meaning, I would not have been rewarded with the revelations of the secrets of the Torah, for he was awarded all that great sublimity of his wisdom during those 13 years of hiding in the cave. Rabbi Shimon opened and said, all the commandments in the Torah that the Creator gave to Israel are written in the Torah in a general way. In the verse, in the beginning God created, until the verse, and there was light. The Zohar explained that the verse, in the beginning God created, is the commandment of fear and its punishment, and all the commandments in the Torah are included in it. All right, we are going to move on to the next article. Before we do, let's watch another clip from Rav Laitman and refresh our intention.
While reading the Zohar, you are in a special relation, proximation with the upper force. The upper force, it's called the innermost force that dwells in the general desire, which is the generality of existence. And then you have the ability to bring yourself closer to Him, to use Him. The using Him is by placing yourself towards Him artificially, where you want Him to do this over you. Suppose a small girl dresses like a queen. She wants to be a queen, so she dresses as a queen. And then that force works on her and makes her into a queen. We understand this kind of depiction. Okay, so that's what we have to do. So, if next to this force, which you call Zohar, you want to be rich, in control, in power, to be proud over others, this will be for you the potion of death. If you want to put on good clothing of bestowal and so on, this is what you'll have. So that is it's like this wondrous force. And what you want. You get, of course, there are conditions about it, but all in all, both through all of these bad cases, bad things where a person asks not what's for, not things that are in his favor, then that upper force teaches that person through that and shows him the right path. That's called work through suffering. It's not a neutral force that whatever you want you can get. It is a positive force, meaning that it has a special form of bestowal. If you don't ask for that form, then you get the very opposite and learn from that. It's better search for the right kind of clothing, the right form. That's called the short and convenient path.
All right, we're going to continue with the reading. And before we do, let's just take 30 seconds and ask ourselves, what do we want to get out of this reading? Why are we doing this action? What is that result that we're looking to receive from this? So just 30 seconds, everyone sets their intention. The commandments of the Torah, the first commandment, 189. In the beginning, God created. This is the very first commandment. This commandment is called the fear of God, and it is called Rashit, beginning, as in the fear of the Lord is the Rashit, is the beginning of wisdom. It is also written, the fear of the Lord is the Rashit, it's the beginning of knowledge, since fear is also called Rashit. Also, it is the gate by which to enter faith, and the whole world exists on this commandment. Why is it written that fear is the beginning of wisdom and that it is the beginning of knowledge? It is because fear is the beginning of every sphera. For no sphera can be obtained if not by first obtaining fear. This is why he says that it is the gate by which to enter faith, as it is impossible to obtain whole faith if not out of fear of God. And by the measure of fear is the measure of installments of faith. For this reason, the whole world exists in this commandment, for the world exists only on Torah and commandments, as it is written, if not my covenant day and night, I would not put the ordinances of heaven and earth. And since fear is the beginning and the gate of every commandment, as it is the gate of faith, it follows that the whole world exists on fear, as it is written, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth with fear, which is called Rashit, in which all the commandments are included. God created the heaven and the earth, and were it not for fear, God would not create a thing. 190. Fear is interpreted in three discernments, two of which do not contain a worthy root, and one is the root of fear. There's a person who fears the Creator so that his sons will live and not die, or fears a bodily punishment, or a punishment to one's money. Hence, he always fears him. It follows that the fear he fears of the Creator is not placed as the root, for his own benefit is the root, and the fear is the result of it. And there is a person who fears the Creator because he fears the punishment of that world and the punishment of hell. Those two kinds of fear, fear of punishment in this world and fear of punishment in the next world, are not the essence of fear and its root. 191. Fear means primarily that one should fear one's master because he is great and rules everything, the essence and the root of all the worlds, and all is regarded as nothing before him. As it is written, and all the inhabitants of the earth count as nothing. He will place his will in that place, which is called fear. There are three manners in the fear of God, only one of which is considered real fear. One, fear of the Creator and keeping His commandments, so that His sons may live and he will be kept from bodily punishment or punishment to one's money. This is a fear of punishments in this world. Two, when fearing punishments of hell as well. Those two are not real fear, for he does not keep the fear because of the commandment of the Creator, but because of his own benefit. It follows that his own benefit is the root, and fear is a derived branch of his own benefit. 3. Fear, which is the most important, when one fears one's master because he is great and rules over everything, the essence and the root of all the worlds, and everything is considered nothing compared to him, for he is the root from which all the worlds expand. Also, his glory appears over all his deeds, and he rules over everything, because all the worlds he has created, upper and lower, are considered nothing compared to him, for they add nothing to his essence. It was said, and he will place his will in that place, which is called fear, meaning he will place his heart and desires in that place, which is called fear. He will cling to fear of the Creator willingly and voluntarily, as is befitting and proper with the king's commandment. 192. Rabbi Shimon wept and said, Woe if I tell, woe if I do not tell. If I tell, the wicked will know how to serve their master. If I do not tell, the friends will lose that thing. For where there is holy fear, there is evil fear below correspondingly, which strikes and beats and slanders. It is a strap with which to lash the wicked, to punish them for their sins. This is why he feared telling, so the wicked would not know how to be rid of the punishment, for their punishment is their purification. By that, he implies that he could not reveal his words in full in this place so as not to harm the wicked. This is because here he came to disclose how to cling to the tree of life and never touch the tree of death. And only those who have already corrected the discernment of the tree of knowledge of good and evil are worthy of it. But the wicked, who have yet to correct the sin of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, must not know it. For they first need to toil in all the labors until they correct the sin of the tree of knowledge. As it is written, lest he reached out his hand and took also from the tree of life and ate and lived forever. After Adam sinned with the tree of knowledge, he was expelled from the Garden of Eden for fear that he would cling to the tree of life and live forever. And the flaw he had caused in the tree of knowledge would forever remain uncorrected. Hence, to not be lost from the righteous or worthy of knowing that thing, he disclosed the matter by way of intimation. 193. And one who fears the punishment of striking and hatred, that fear of God, called fear of God for life, is not on him. Rather, that evil fear is on him, that strap, and not the fear of God. 194. For this reason, the place called fear of God is called the beginning of knowledge. And this is why this commandment is included here. This is the root and the foundation of all the commandments of the Torah. One who keeps the fear keeps everything. And one who does not keep the fear does not keep the commandments of the Torah. For fear is the gate to everything. The Zohar relates to what is written once as the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and once as the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. He explained that at the end of the holy fear, called fear of God for life, there is evil fear below, which strikes and beats and slanders, and it is a strap to whip the wicked, and its legs go down to death. For one who keeps the commandment of fear, because he is great and rules over everything, clings to the fear of God for life. It is written about those who fear because of the punishment of the strikes and not because of a commandment. When the wicked fears will come upon him, this is so because the fear of the end governs over him and strikes him. And in that respect, that the end of the fear is in an evil strap to strike the wicked, the high and holy fear is also called by the name the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. It indicates that one should cling only to her beginning, which is the fear of God for life, and to be aware of the first fear, which is the evil strap. By that, the sin of the tree of knowledge is corrected. All right, we're going to stop there for today. We're going to take 15-20 seconds and really just feel this gratitude between us that we're able to do this action together. And we're going to raise this gratitude together to the Creator in the form of prayer. So just 15 seconds in silence. Everyone thinks about this gratitude to the Creator for allowing us to be in this action together. And we'll read a few more names out of some of the friends that joined us and participated. What do we have here since I read it last? Annie Kurtz was writing Shalom from North Carolina. Ali is writing greetings from Turkey. Carly is sending a heart from California. Sandra's writing hi from Bedford, Nova Scotia in Canada. Mabel is writing greetings from Mexico. Josephine is writing greetings from Vancouver. And Frederick is writing hi from Kenya. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining this reading and for participating together. And until next time, be well. Bye-bye.